because Craig on Twitter, David on Twitter, both say, are you looking to strengthen the first team in January for the promotion push?
It depends. Excuse me. I wouldn't say that I won't do anything, but it's like it has to be the right player. You know, I'm not going to sign a player just to sign a player. You know, I have one or two things in mind that I'll speak to the club about, and if those people become available, then I would probably pursue it. But I'm not going to sign a player just to sign a player because we might look a bit weak in an area. It's got to be the right player, otherwise you end up with players you don't want. And it's important that you don't do that. But I would say that there's a possibility that we will bring in somebody when the window opens.
This one, kind of on a similar tack, but stretching it out a bit. If John Steele could sign any, this is from Gary on Twitter, if John Steele could sign any player from throughout history that would guarantee promotion, who?
Oh, dear, that's hard. Who asked that? What's the matter with you?
That's hard. That was Gary.
Dear.
I'll tell you what, you can go for one that you've worked with in the past, John, and one that you haven't worked with.
Right, one I've worked with in the past. You know what, he wasn't our best player, but the Dagenham side that got promotion to the Football League, we had a guy called Anwar Udin, who was the first Asian captain of the Football League Cup. When I'd known Annie from West Ham, I took him to Bristol Rovers when he was at Bristol Rovers. I brought him to Dagenham, and if anyone epitomised what was required to be successful, it was him, because his attitude, his desire, his hunger, his drive, and he had a little bit of quality as well. You know, Anwar would drag people kicking and screaming, and you know, when someone said to me, like, he wouldn't be my best player, but he'd be my best signing.
That's really interesting, because you know, we've got managers who are going through a bit of a bad spell at the moment. You know, at Watford and MK and at Stevenage, and on Saturday we had loads of fans texting and tweeting, whatever, and questioning whether the players cared enough, whether they gave 100%. Now, I asked this to Gianfranco Zola today, and he said they all cared, they all gave 100%. But what you're there saying is that this guy is the one that everybody would want, that you'd want pulling out.
Absolutely, and
that is 100%, isn't it?
It is, and you know, he was our skipper, and you know, he wasn't afraid to tell people that they weren't doing enough. You know, we all say our players give 100%. I do believe that. You know, it may not be as obvious to supporters, but I do believe. But it's like, how can I explain it? It's like people saying that someone done good and someone done good, and there's a difference, and it's that little bit extra. And Annie had a way of dragging that little bit extra out of players.
That's interesting, isn't it? So, you know, you'd want as many of those in your team, wouldn't you? But I suppose you're never going to get all of those in your team. It just doesn't work like that.
It doesn't. And you know, you need all different components. It's like any business, craftsmen and labourers. You know, you need a mixture. You know, the fella that plays the piano, someone's got to carry it on for him. You know, if you don't carry it on, he can't play the piano. So it's craftsmen and labourers, and you need both. And the answer to the other question is Lionel Messi.
Oh, that's an answer to your one later on, isn't it?
Later on, yeah. I'll scratch that one out.
The one that anyone can have, you know, is if you.
But not at the moment.
No, not at the moment. But you know, if you have Lionel Messi, give him the ball in the other half, and you ain't got to worry about it because he run all the way up there and beat everyone and score.